Hi, welcome. This is a short video for beginners with some introductory poses, breathing exercises. All you need is your mat. If you have a couple of blocks, it would be super helpful. If you don't have blocks, consider taking a couple of cushions, maybe a blanket. They can always come in useful. And when you're ready, come to sit. Sitting in a cross-legged position. I typically, especially at the beginning of the practice, elevate myself and sit up on a block. This could be a cushion or a doubled up blanket. The reason it's important to consider that is when you're in a cross-legged position and your knees are a little higher than your hips, like it is with me, after a while, it can possibly get straining and tensing on the inner thighs, hips. As soon as you elevate, it does become quite often easier to sit in a way where the knees are a little lower than the hips and see how it feels for you. Once you're in a comfortable seated position, settle your hands wherever feels good for you, correct for your shoulders. So if reaching your hands towards the knees causes you to slouch, then bring your hands towards the thighs. It's all about proportion. Find a position that allows the shoulders to soften and close your eyes. Begin connecting to your breath. Sometimes breathing in up to a certain point and then beyond that feels tense. If that resonates with you, just notice. Perhaps today your breath feels really expansive and spacious. Notice that too. Bring attention to the sides of your ribs. And with your next deep breath, gently expand the side ribs with your breath. And as you exhale, soften another layer of unnecessary tension away from the shoulders. Align the back of your head with your lower back. Feel for a sense of broadness in the front of the heart and between the collarbones. And here, take one more inhale, expanding into the side ribs and also letting the breath move down towards the belly. And as you exhale, gently hug the core in. Continue breathing deeply and open your eyes. Moving into our next position, which is knee pile. There are different ways to do this. Start by extending both legs in front of you and place your left thigh over right. If this is uncomfortable for you, once again, consider sitting up on a block. If you're fine without a block, remain there. And if your hips allow you to go deeper, bend your bottom knee also. The key is not to fight with yourself. So if this is uncomfortable, stay in the previous variation. What's way more important is how grounded you feel through the sit bones. Wherever you are, reach your right hand, maybe about 15 inches away from the right hip. Keep it in line with the right hip and extend your left arm up. Take a spacious breath in into the left side of the body, left side of the ribs, and exhaling, lean to the right and anchor the right ear softly towards the right shoulder. Now reach your left arm to the left. I personally like to settle my arm just a little higher than shoulder height. Feel for opening the left side of your chest by moving your arm back. So notice, does it feel better for you to have your arm a little lower or a little higher? Find your height and the level that works best for you. We are opening into the left side of the chest, the collarbone area and the pec minor area, the space that connects the chest and the left upper arm. So as long as you feel an opening, for some of you it might be quite a deep stretch, quite a yummy stretch. For others, it might be milder, and that's fine. Wherever you are, take one more inhale into left side of chest, and as you exhale, soften your gaze. To come out, use your left arm to guide the torso up, then bring it down. Use your right hand to lift your head up. And we'll swap sides. Extend your legs in front of you. Now the left leg remains under, the right leg over. Just to clarify, the difference between half knee pile and spinal twist is when the foot is down. Here, if your ankle allows, we want to place the side of the foot and ankle on the floor. And those who went for the full knee pile variation, you're going to bend both knees. Wherever you are, settle down through the sit bones. Now the left hand moves over to the left. Extend your right arm up and take a spacious inhale, reaching the rib cage up and away from your pelvis. Exhale, lean to the left side. Settle the left ear towards your left shoulder. Take a spacious breath into the right side of your ribs. And as you exhale, relax your jaw. Second arm position, the right arm extends to the right. Check in with your left shoulder blade here for a moment. If you notice that it's lifting upward towards your ear, be mindful to slide the left shoulder blade down the back so it's not hiking up. As you reach your right arm back, feel for a gentle opening. More space to the front of the heart. As you separate your back teeth, exhaling, soften the hinges of the jaw. Use your right arm to gently guide the torso back to center. Lower the hand. And then use your left hand to lift your head up. Next, we'll be working into a few core strengthening exercises. Come onto your hands and knees. If you have sensitivity in the knees, then take a blanket right now and place the blanket underneath your knees for an extra layer of protection. If you have sensitivity in your wrists, then also feel free to place a thin layer of blanket underneath the palms of the hands. And let me just show you by doubling up the mat. And you can do exactly the same thing or use a blanket. So the heels of the hands might be on a blanket or just like I'm doing on a raised part of the mat, and the rest of the fingers on the floor. So that's for those who feel unnecessary and uncomfortable amount of pressure on the wrist joints when in tabletop position. Otherwise, come into tabletop without the blanket. Wherever you are, position the wrists underneath your shoulders and wrap the shoulder blades towards the armpits, and that helps to press the floor away and energize the arm and shoulder muscles. Keep your knees under your hips. Keep your neck fairly soft, so you don't have to look up and strain the neck here. Keep it neutral. And take a really deep breath into the back of your heart. As you exhale, hug the abdominals in. That might result in the pubic bone lifting up towards the belly button a little bit. And keep that connection to your core. Now we introduce the abdominal exercises. Keep your core engaged and send your right leg back. Keep your toes tucked under. Feel for leveling the hips. And specifically what I mean by that is try not to lean onto your left knee and hip. And also don't go the other way. So leaning onto the right side. Feel for leveling the hips and hug the abdominals in. As you reach back with the right heel, connect to your right glute and lengthen the left arm forward. Feel for leveling the shoulders also, and take one more spacious inhale here and a complete exhale out. Left hand releases down, right knee releases down. We do the same on the other side. But before we do that, place the top of your right hand on the floor just to give the top of your wrist a little stretch, a little moment of respite. Come back to tabletop. Left side, take a deep breath in, extend your left leg back. Level the hips. Send your left heel back so you feel the back of the leg energize. Hug the abdominals in. And now extend your right arm forward. Try to keep your torso level. Take one more spacious inhalation, exhaling, hug the abdominals in. And come out. Bring your right hand down, bring your left knee down. And now bring the top of your left hand on the floor and press the floor away. Feeling for a gentle stretch to the top of your left wrist. Now sit back for a moment. If it's available to you, you can sit back on your heels. If you prefer, you can be cross-legged. Wherever you are, relax your arms by your side. And take a spacious breath into the back of the heart. Hold the breath, lift your shoulders up, move them back. Exhale, squeeze top tips of shoulder blades together. Squeeze, squeeze, and slide down the back. Take a deep breath into upper back. Now, as you exhale, move your shoulders straight back. So mid-tips of shoulder blades come together, squeeze and slide down the back. Bend the elbows and take a spacious breath into upper back. As you exhale, squeeze elbows towards one another, bottom tips of shoulder blades come together, squeeze and slide down the back. Release and come back onto all fours. Placing your wrists underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Press the floor away and energize the back of your heart. by breathing into the back of the heart and wrapping the shoulders. So you feel the muscles around the shoulder blades, around the side ribs engage. And now we repeat what we did before with the core exercises, but just a little faster. Take a deep breath in, send your right leg back. Exhale, send your left arm forward and hug the abdominals in. Left hand down, right knee down. Deep breath in, left leg extends back. Exhale, right arm extends forward and hug the abdominals in. Feel the muscles get lighter. Right hand down, left knee down. Deep breath in, extend right leg back. Exhaling, left arm forward, hug the abdominals in and plant the right palm firmly onto the floor. Left hand down, right knee down. Deep inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, right arm extends forward, hug the abdominals in. Press the floor away with your left hand. Right hand down, left knee down. Sit back down for a moment and give your shoulders a little bit of movement, a little bit of attention, your wrists perhaps. And come to stand at the top of the mat for sun salutations. As you settle yourself at the top of the mat with your hips over your ankles, with attention to the lower back. If you need to make more space in the lower back, send the sit bones down just slightly, connecting to length in the lower back, but also a sense of engagement in the core. And now bring your hands to heart center. We move through a few rounds of sun salutations. Take a deep breath in and sweep your arms up. As you exhale, draw belly in, forward fold, and feel free to bend your knees. Lunge. Inhale, step your left foot back. Bring left knee down to the floor. Untuck the toes. And as you anchor down through your right foot, reach your arms up. Feel for aligning your front knee above your front ankle. Take a spacious breath here, exhaling. Press the floor away with your right active foot. Bring your hands down to the floor. Tuck back toes under, lift back knee, and step right foot back. Bring your knees down. This is modified chaturanga. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, zip the core in and lower down all the way onto your belly. Cobra. Slide your palms in front of the shoulders. Press tops of the feet down so your legs are energized, and inhale, pull chest forward and up into Cobra. And exhale, pull chest forward and down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push. Lifting up into downward facing dog. Take a moment to set up your down dog. With your feet at about a hip width distance. With your palms settled just a little wider than shoulder distance. As you ground down through more points in the feet, especially the balls of the feet, your heels can be off the floor. It is absolutely fine. You can have a little bend in the knees or quite a deep bend in the knees if you need to. Feel instead for lengthening the spine, so making that the priority. Don't worry if your legs are not extended and the heels are not touching the floor yet. Take a spacious breath in, step your left foot forward between the hands, bring right knee down, untuck the toes and lift your arms up. Here too, as you stack your front heel below your front knee, also notice that your right hip is over your right knee. Exhaling, bring your hands down, tuck back toes under and lightly step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Right side, deep inhale, arms reach up. Exhaling, draw belly in, forward fold. Relax your neck. Inhale, step right foot back. Lightly bring right knee down. Untuck the back toes and anchoring down through your left foot, raise the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down, step back to plank. Modified chaturanga. As your knees come down, you untuck the toes, hug the abdominals in, lower down all the way. Bring your hands in front of your shoulders, tops of the feet ground. Inhale, pull chest forward and up. Exhale, pull chest forward and down. Bring your hands under your shoulders, push. As you lift up into downward facing dog. Soften the neck and jaw. Feel for pressing the floor away, energizing the arm bones, and take an inhale into the back of your heart. As you exhale, wrap your shoulder blades towards the armpits, strengthening through the upper part of the body, and lengthen the sit bones away to create length in the spine. Lunge, inhale, step right foot forward, bring left knee down to the floor, untuck the toes, and lift your arms up. As you exhale, hug the front lower ribs down towards your waist to connect to strengthen core. Bring your hands down, tuck back toes under, and lightly step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling, sweep arms up. Exhaling, hands come to heart center. Now we're moving on to B series. Settle your feet together so that the big toes are touching and the heels are a little apart. Next, deep breath, bend the knees and lift your arms up. As you exhale, draw belly in and forward fold. If the forward fold feels uncomfortable, feel free to raise the floor up to you by placing your hands on blocks. Maybe a couple of books if you don't have blocks. Take a spacious breath in and lengthen your chest bone forward. You can have your hands on the floor, on blocks, maybe on your shins. And as you exhale, forward fold. Deep inhale, flat back, lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, bring your hands down, step back one leg at a time to plank pose. Bring your knees down and take a spacious breath in. As you exhale, come forward and lower, keeping upper arms close to side body. Cobra. Hands in front of the shoulders, tops of the feet grounding. Inhale, pull chest forward and up. Exhale, pull chest forward and down. Bring your hands under your shoulders, push. Lifting up into downward facing dog. Here, take a spacious breath in and let your exhale be complete. Warrior two. As you inhale, step your left foot forward. Open the right foot out to about 90-degree angle and come up to stand. Align your front heel with the back foot arch. So if there was a line here, the heel and the arch would be on the one same line. Align the front knee above your front ankle. So that's quite an important safety point. And feel for rooting down through both feet equally. So try not to lean on the one side or the other. It's typically the front that we tend to lean towards. Also, bring awareness to your right foot. Sometimes the tendency is to lean in and use the inner side of the right foot, or to lean out and use the outer. So bring awareness in such a way that allows you to root down through the entirety of your foot. And then extend your arms away from each other. This is Warrior Two. Feel for sending your deep, nourishing breath down towards lower belly and lower back. And as you exhale, ground down through your feet, send sit bones down, and maybe bend the front knee a little deeper. Now we transition into extended side angle variation. Bring your left forearm on left thigh. Extend your right arm above your ear. If this is ever uncomfortable for you, extend your right arm straight up. Take a really spacious breath into both sides of the rib cage, left and the right. And as you exhale, ground down through your feet and press the floor away. Maybe opening your heart a little bit more. So if the tendency is for the shoulder to lean forward, you're gently and compassionately breathing into the shoulder to open. There's no need to force it. Take one more inhale and let your exhale be complete. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Step your left foot back into downward facing dog. A full inhale and a complete exhale out. Now let's do the other side. Take a deep breath in, step your right foot forward in between the hands. Open the left foot out to about 90 degrees and come up to stand. Once you're here, you might need to readjust the feet a little bit. Front heel aligned with the back arch. If your hips, especially this left side, is restricted, because the intent is to keep your front knee above the front ankle, if that pulls on the left hip, bring your left toes in a little bit to allow for a sense of comfort, a fair degree of comfort. So you don't want to be in pain. You never want to be in pain. So if that helps, stay in that position and extend your arms away from one another. Typically, in a Warrior Two, we look over the right shoulder. I prefer my Warrior Twos with my chin aligned with chest. Do whatever feels right. Take a spacious breath in wherever you are, down towards your lower belly and lower back. And as you exhale, send sit bones down. Maybe bend your right knee a little bit more. And now a transition into extended side angle. Your right forearm comes on the right thigh and left arm either extends above your ear or arm reaches up. Whatever feels best for your shoulder in this moment. If you find yourself leaning onto that left thigh quite a bit, or right thigh, feel for pressing the thigh away and lengthening through the right side of the rib cage. The left side is lengthening already, so feel for lengthening through the right side also. And take a spacious breath in. As you exhale, ground down through your feet. Bring your hands down to the floor, framing your right foot, and step back into downward facing dog. Take a spacious breath in. Let your exhale be complete. Now bring your knees down and come to lie down on your back. We wind down this sequence with a little release for your hips. Start by placing your left ankle over the right thigh. opening into the left hip and the inner thigh. And this might be enough for you today. If you would like to go deeper, lift the right thigh up. Bring your left hand in this gap in the middle, the right hand from outside, and clasp the hands around your right hamstring. Wherever you are, breathe with the intention to soften any unnecessary holding in your hip joint, in the musculature around the hip and outer thigh, perhaps even your left glute. As you exhale, if it's available to you, bring your right thigh a little closer towards the chest. That's going to deepen the stretch in the left hip and thigh. Slowly release. Let's swap sides. Bring your left foot down. Place your right ankle over left thigh, facilitating an opening and an external rotation into the hip joint. Either staying with this position or lifting the thigh up towards the chest, interlacing the fingers around your left hamstring, soften the shoulders down. Keep your head relaxed and your jaw relaxed. Feel the breath resonating down in the belly and the lower back area. And as you exhale, if it's available to you, draw the left thigh in towards the chest a little bit more. It is interesting to work with an edge in yoga poses. Going over that edge can result in a sense of struggle and tension. So discerning where that edge is and oscillating just before that line is part of the journey. Release your left foot down, release the right foot down. Coming into the final relaxation, extending the legs, relaxing the arms, and just for a few moments, closing the eyes. Revisit your breath. Softening the upper chest, the shoulder, and the jaw muscles. And with your next inhale, allowing the breath to feed your belly, the waist, maybe even all the way down to pelvis. And as you exhale, let your belly relax towards the spine. If you need more time here, and if you have more time, stay for a few extra minutes. If it's time to come out, lift the knees up towards the chest and gently transition onto your side, right or left, whichever calls you first. As you use your hands, safely sit yourself up. Any seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes for a moment. Make sure that you thank yourself for dedicating this time to you, for moving and breathing in a way that feels good to you. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, any comments, reach out. And I hope to practice with you and see you soon.